sunlight in my yard. I am cooking potatoes, and it is the chopping of the potatoes that has activated, and the smell of the potatoes that has activated my memory of the dream last night, and with new understanding and feeling. Slicing and dicing material, embodied reality, to examine it from different angles. Reassembling the body, as with Isis, who reassembled her brother Osiris. And so the cubing of the potato, like Metatron's cube, activated a slicing and a dicing and a re-examination, a cooking, alchemy of the divine dance between divine masculine and feminine, all activated by that potato, which is so much what happened in Peru. I went to Peru and it reactivated Pachamama, the divine mama, Isis, inside of me, and so awakened some DNA codes in relation to my Polynesian ancestry. Those Polynesian codes came to me while I was in Peru. The melody I was making with the material that was bequeathed to me through the cosmos. Ya más camina a la fiesta. 2 of 7. Print 2 of 7. 2012. And they are in the colours of the earth, in that colour that's between ochre and magenta, like my rug. The embodier of divine wisdom, that is Anusha, she who embodies divine wisdom. She who receives and embodies and brings down to human form, which is love, the human heart space. She who holds the heart space for the humans. She is Anusha of Polynesia, of the Pacific. And she sings songs with the Pacific sisters on the coast to the west and the coast to the east. The coast to the west, the people where I now stand, to her east, to her west, or her east, depending which pole she pointed towards, of course, because she is able to move in all directions as a human. And she also sent and received that wisdom from her sisters on the west coast, which is Peru and LA and Mexico, all of those indigenous people of the Americas. We're in communion with Anusha, the spirit of the Pacific, where the new earth forms are rising now to create a new continent, the blue Pacific, rising up from the floor, from the bed of the Pacific. That new continent will rise and send these tidal waves towards Australia and towards the Americas, but it is far in the Pacific, center of the Pacific, near Polynesia, where this new continent will rise from the floor of the earth. This is what is coming. And this is the dream of the giant water incursion onto the earth. And in the dream, there is a giant wave coming towards me from one direction. And I am in the dream fleeing from this tidal wave when a plane crashes on the other side of me to the west on the ground here. In Australia, a giant jet plane has crash landed, and all of the occupants are trapped inside. Some are dying. I don't know if they are. I only see them there. Still, I don't know if they are alive or if they are dead, but the plane has crashed. And I have been in this space between fleeing from this tidal wave and a plane crashing, and there is balls of fire. There is fire coming from this plane, a plane that has grounded and from which fire comes. And I need to flee from this fire, which may explode the plane because of all the fuel on board. And so this is a dangerous location to be between an impending explosion, fuel explosion from a crashed giant jet plane and a tidal wave. And so the only way to run is towards the west, in the corridor away from between the tidal wave and the crash plane. I must flee to the west. But now I look and think, no, but I must see if I can rescue these people. They may be alive, but the plane may be about to explode any moment, and there is fire. And then there is someone directing, a man directing and saying, I want people to come forward to help to move this plane. He needs volunteers to come and move the plane. It's a giant jet. I look at myself and think I cannot perform this task. I must flee. I'm not safe here, although I need to rescue these people, and so I feel torn between running to save my own life and going to rescue those in the plane who may still be alive and trapped. I'm in this dilemma when a group of people who are like a wave of people, are moving away to the direction of an escape, and I go with the people. And there is my friend Bronwyn, my colleague from work, who is judging me harshly for this selfish course of action I have taken, who thinks my role should be to stay behind to help rescue those trapped in the plane. And so I am torn between Bronwyn's judgment and requirement that I stay back to sacrifice my own life to rescue those in the plane, or I flee with those who are fleeing. And so I choose to flee, and the moment I choose, well, my fear chooses that I run with these people who are going to safety. And I go with this group. And we're now in a car and we're a bus. We're travelling away from this place towards safety. And here is a feeling of freedom and liberation with these people. There is a lightness here. These people are full of levity, with a carefree attitude. It's almost like the Great Gatsby. It is the time or the feeling of being with Gatsby and his privileged friends, who are seemingly travelling lightly over the earth because you don't see any pain and suffering. They are having a party. Those lamas travelling to the fiesta. That party, that fiesta of those lamas is an everyday, permanent state of joy and levity. And there is not any time spent connecting with, communing with suffering, or trying to embody those painful feelings, but rather to drown those feelings with parties and levity. And that is the kind of floating over the top of the pain and suffering as though it does not exist. And so I am here with the ground and Anusha and this plane that has been grounded. This is the body that has landed on this earth and does not float over it like an alien spaceship or a ghost ship, but rather has come down to earth and has become fully human, fully of this Pachamama earth. And so those people trapped and suffering in those planes, they are us. We cannot run from those people. We fear an explosion, yes. But really, what is that explosion? That explosion is in fact all of that repressed energy, those repressed emotions that we do not own. That is the explosion of that jet plane. That jet plane is the collective human consciousness, the collective body of humanity that has been grounded, brought down, like Icarus, who flew too close to the sun and came crashing back to the earth. That really is the response to this narcissistic society and sensibility and consciousness that we have created. And so we have come crashing down like this jet plane, back down to Pachamama, to the Great Mother, Erishkigal, to meet our earthly mother. We have crashed from that height of Logos, the heights of Logos. We have crashed down now from them, and we have truly landed here on planet Earth. And I have truly landed here in Camaragal country with the wisdom of that time in Peru. And so this dream I have had last night, from which I woke so tired and which I knew was important, this dream is the collective dream, the collective unconscious dream of the grounding of the flying kangaroo. What is the grounding of the flying kangaroo? It is the crashing down to planet Earth of our inflated masculine archetype that now needs to return to reconnect with Gaia, with Eros, with earth and fire. This is the grounding of the collective unconscious and the collective conscious back down to earth, to reformulate as a new paradigm, as a new kind of being.